Hi everybody, my name is Hannah and this is Pepper and Pine, and I have a tutorial to share with you today. We are in the middle of our West Africa unit study, which spans the years 900 to about 1300, and for this unit study we are going to be making a map that is both physical as well as historical. So I'm going to take you along on this lesson.
11?
Oh, 11 inches? What's the size the other way? Is it 14?
15.
15.
So every 5 inches is one quadrant, and then 5.5 inches.
The other way? No, because that. Oh, yes, correct. You are correct. Yes, you're right. Yes, you're right. I was wrong. Very good. Oh, then this actually is a really good piece of paper. Okay, go ahead. Mark on both sides of the paper so that you can connect them. And then that way we'll be able to do an outline of the map. Don't do the countries because we want to make this a historical map.
For this project, we are using Fabriano 90-pound watercolor paper, which is 11 inches by 15 inches. And we're going to be making quadrants so that we can draw the map of Africa so that it resembles the map as best as we can. So making little sections on the paper is going to be a great way in order to get the proportions correct for map making. Let's head back to the lesson.
Now, when you trace your map, you can use these lines as guides just the same way that you have the creases in the map here. So you know that this quadrant here is only going to have this much of the continent, okay? So that means right here you're only just going to have a little bit. Use a medium hardness pencil very, very lightly. You don't want to damage the paper because you'll probably need to erase. So grab your eraser.
This is about 7 inches. This doesn't start till about 1.5.
Okay, so go ahead and work on the proportions to figure out where it starts. You can also kind of eyeball it too at this point. Yeah, that sounds about right.
What I love about a project like this is that it easily incorporates multiple subject areas into one project. We're also using our Children's Atlas of the World so that we can get our physical map, but we do also want to include some of the historical markers that we studied while doing this unit. All right, let's head back to the lesson.
Right after this ridge, which is right here.
And do use a ruler, because that you do want to have completely straight. Do you have the ruler still?
Yeah, I'm gonna second this one right there. And this one
Yeah.
is like. Can I do it like approximately? You don't have to do it exact.
Well, do you see how that, well, a second ago that was quite crooked. I would prefer you did it exact. I would prefer that you mark how many inches up or how many centimeters up on both sides. That little extra effort I think will look really good in the long run.
At this point, a little precision goes a long way, and with some basic tools, you can get a fairly accurate representation of the map. It's not going to be exactly correct, but I think it's good enough for a project like this. And then, of course, we can include the artistic element of watercoloring the map, which really brings it to life.
Excellent. Yep, that looks really nice.
For the art portion of this project, we are using our Winsor Newton watercolors in a variety of sets. I also have them as tube paints, so I've squeezed out a few colors that I think that my son will use often for this project. However, we ended up using these new watercolor paint brushes, which you can fill up with water, and then you still use them with pan paints, but you can squeeze the pen and water comes out, and it makes it really easy to watercolor with them. However, it does take a little practice because if you squeeze too much water will come out. But overall, we had a really good time experimenting with these new brushes, and we found them to be quite a joy in completing this project. So for this project, we are going to be coloring the entire map as a physical map, but we are going to be labeling certain markers to fit with our unit study. So there will be some empires that are marked, but it's not going to be a political map. Once it was completely dry, my son took his fountain pen to make the labels, but one of them didn't turn out so great, and so he did it again. Both of them, I think, in the end looked really beautiful, but because we were looking for a little bit more accuracy for this project, I was a little bit more particular about some of the aspects of this project, like spelling and the location of the different empires and the bodies of water. So in the end, I think it looks really fabulous. And if you want to check out some of our other projects for our West Africa unit study, you can tap on the screen right now. Don't forget to check out the blog post that accompanies this video with more information and tutorials. And if you'd like to see what our homeschool looks like on a daily basis, you can find me on Instagram at Pepper and Pine.